Plunging into the freezing river, James Aliffs abandons the concrete jungle to seek solace in the Canadian wilderness. This is not merely a retreat from urban chaos, but a deliberate quest to build an off-grid sanctuary on 40 acres of untamed land. The roaring rapids and silent snowbanks bear witness to his solitary resolve as he embraces the raw beauty of nature. Gazing up at the towering pines that pierce the sky, the young homesteader envisions a truly glorious future. He aims to attract a magnificent wife, raise 10 children, and keep an Irish wolfhound by his side. Yet such grand ambitions demand grueling daily labor. It begins with a relentless stacking of firewood under the winter's sun. Every single chop log is a silent vow to tame this unforgiving frontier. Shivering inside the sleeping bag, James endures a sudden and brutal bout of severe food poisoning. The resilient builder is reduced to a state of incomprehensible misery, suffering through 24 hours of relentless gastrointestinal distress. With the primitive tent offering no sanctuary for such a violent illness, fleeing to a roadside motel becomes his only salvation. He desperately seeks the basic comfort of a sink, a shower, and a toilet. Now back at the camp, the worst has finally passed, yet the wilderness has once again reminded him of his fragile mortality, leaving him weak but determined to continue. Awakening on Sunday morning, the resilient builder declares his full recovery, attributing his swift rebound to a rigorous regimen of magnesium supplements, with his digestive system finally at peace. His focus immediately shifts back to the monumental task of roofing, but the war against the elements demands his immediate return to the timber trails. Drudging through the deep snow, he hauls 12-foot sections of 2x8 timber. He outlines the massive structural requirements for the impending roof. Yet the grueling manual transport continues long into the night. A headlamp cuts through the darkness to guide another exhausting load back to camp. Each heavy step forward stands as a testament to the sheer physical toll of grid construction in the wild. Red light washes over James's face. A call from an upstream neighbor reveals looming trouble. He concludes that strength in numbers is essential to confront such nuisances directly. Dropping the final plank, he declares this round of hauling complete, harvesting the sweet sap, quenching his thirst directly from a bucket of pure maple water. He experiences a profound realization that validates every ounce of his suffering. Drinking from the very trees on his own land transforms the grueling hardship into a deeply rewarding triumph. As a loyal dog bounds through the snow, the sheer beauty of this self-sustained existence becomes undeniably clear. James fries thick-cut bacon in the pan. The rich aroma fills the cold air as he indulges in this feast. He savors a moment of pure bliss. This greasy delight fuels the back-breaking labor ahead. He details the AG1 supplement, a blend of vitamins, probiotics, and minerals. After 3 weeks of use, he reports feeling fantastic. This endorsement stems from personal experience, not casual suggestion. Internal health proves as vital as external shelter. Assembling the heavy-duty cart, he secures the massive pneumatic wheels and tests the rig's maneuverability. Then a colossal sheet of 3/4-inch plywood is loaded and fastened. Dragging this immense weight through deep snow reveals the brutal reality of manual logistics, leaving him breathless while questioning his own physical limits. Yet this mechanical advantage ultimately proves indispensable for the monumental task that lies ahead in the unforgiving winter landscape. Handling the massive plywood sheets, elevating these heavy boards onto log beams, ensures ventilation, protecting vital materials from the damp forest floor. As dusk falls, a heavy blue tarp is secured over the stack, shielding the cargo from impending winter moisture. Each detail in storage serves as a strategic defense against the unforgiving elements. He discovers severe water pooling at the log foundation. A temporary trench is quickly dug to divert the destructive flow with the base secured. The circular saw slices through timber with precision and efficiency. Taming the water is merely a prelude to the heavy framing work that defines the day. Hoisting the massive ridge beam securing the heavy timber into the precisely carved notches, he drives the structural screws with relentless force, ensuring an unyielding connection. Admiring the flawless alignment, his spirit is suddenly uplifted by the sight of ravens flying north, an ancient omen of divine favor. The physical triumph of the build is perfectly mirrored by this profound spiritual validation. With the final beam secured, he drapes a protective tarp over the structure, carrying a white bucket across the cleared land. He pauses to observe faint smoke rising from his tent. The solitary silhouette against the vast forest underscores the quiet triumph of his homesteading journey. Custom dimension. Calculating the precise roof pitch, explaining the mathematical logic of a 12 times 12 slope. He realizes that achieving perfect level requires the strategic insertion of wooden shims. Switching between power tools and a traditional handsaw, he meticulously trims the uneven log walls to accommodate the exact structural geometry. This is not merely construction. It is a rigorous application of wilderness engineering, perfecting the ridge beam alignment perched precariously on the high walls. He uses a spirit level to micro-adjust the massive timber for absolute horizontality. The saw bites into the stubborn wood, sending a shower of sawdust into the freezing air as excess length is trimmed. Each cut remains a calculated move in erecting a flawless roofline. Executing the final structural lift, navigating the high-altitude workspace, he hoists the massive log into its slot, adjusting it until it finds its optimal load-bearing position. The yellow spirit level confirms perfection, revealing a slight natural curvature that he deliberately positions upward to balance gravitational forces. Mastering such natural imperfections is the hallmark of a true wilderness builder. Analyzing the natural bow, he explains the deliberate decision to place the curve upward, noting how the slight deviations at both ends cancel out to maintain an overall straight profile. Refusing to over-tinker and risk disrupting the delicate balance, he confidently signals the completion of this critical calibration phase. The structural puzzle is solved, leaving the massive ridge beam perfectly poised for the next stage of construction. With the final adjustments locked in, the framework stands ready against the gray sky, a testament to precision craftsmanship in the wild. He enrolls the tape measure along the face sheeboard, marking rafter placements every 16 inches. This precise layout ensures the heavy-duty structural brackets will not interfere with the rafter connections. Such meticulous foresight transforms a chaotic building site into a highly orchestrated assembly line. He installs the heavy-duty metal brackets climbing back onto the ridge beam. He seats each connector perfectly against the log's natural contours, then driving long screws deep into the wood with an impact driver. The final crisp echoes of the drill signal, the completion of a grueling week of foundational prep work. Turning to face the camera, James Alice marvels at the sheer scale of the massive pile of transported materials, reflecting on what has been accomplished. Reflecting on the logistical marathon, he utilizes GPS mapping software to reveal the staggering 500-meter distance required to transport every single piece of lumber from the driveway to the build site. The aerial footage highlights the completion of the loft floor and the remarkably square dimensions of the cabin, measuring exactly 606 by 603 centimeters, but this absolute geometric precision means a single template can now be used to cut all 34 rafters at once, exponentially accelerating the upcoming roof framing work for next week. This meticulous preparation ensures that the complex task ahead will proceed with an unprecedented speed and efficiency. envisioning the waterproof shell with the rafters, plywood, and Tyvek membrane staged and ready. The impending installation will finally transform the open skeleton into a fully weatherproof sanctuary. The sheer excitement of enclosing the cabin is palpable, though the looming threat of awakening bears adds a darkly comedic edge to the wilderness reality as the aerial perspective pulls back to reveal the vast snow-covered landscape. The ultimate triumph of human will over nature is laid bare. Rickening bears and pooped weak folks